All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It is that time of the week, folks. My weekly picks in the world of the National Football League as we are up to week number 6 in this 2024 NFL season. Got things started on the right foot as I picked the San Francisco 49ers to go on the road last night and get the victory over the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers came out like gangbusters in the first half, building a 16 to nothing lead. They added on that before the Seahawks began to mount their comeback in the second half, but it was too little, too late as San Francisco got the much needed win. Now, with that said, we have a bevy of games on tap for Sunday as well as the Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 6 in this NFL season. Now, of course, we had a game in London last Sunday, and that is going to once again be the case this Sunday morning as well, as you're going to have the Chicago Bears facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, for Jacksonville, they were able to get their first victory of the season last Sunday, a home win over the Colts, and they are going to look to build off of that. A battle of former number one overall picks at quarterback. And of course, that continues to be a theme for the Chicago Bears, as before it was the Los Angeles Rams and Matthew Stafford. This time it's the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. You look at this game, the Bears are favored by 1 point. And, Jacksonville in recent years has played some of their better football over in London. But nonetheless, I think this game is going to be defined by the defenses, most notably the Bears defense under head coach Matt Eberflus. I still don't trust Trevor Lawrence protecting the football. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to take Chicago by the score of 27-20. Now at Lambeau Field, you got the 2-3 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 3-2 Green Bay Packers. And of course, for Arizona, they are looking to pull off the upset once again. They were big time underdogs last Sunday in Santa Clara against the San Francisco 49ers, and their resiliency is what won that game for them. You look at the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love's back at quarterback. It hasn't been pretty, okay, but they found a way to get a win last week against the Los Angeles Rams. And I think that this Packers offense is going to be a work in progress. Maybe this is the week where it connects a little bit more for Love Company. I like the offense in this game with Green Bay, and then also with Arizona with Marvin Harrison Jr. and quarterback Kyler Murray, as well as the running ability of James Conner. Green Bay comes into this contest favored by 5. The over-under is 47.5. I'm going to take Green Bay by 6 in this contest by the score of 30-24. Now, in an AFC South battle, you got the 2-3 Indianapolis Colts traveling to Nashville to take on the 1-3 Titans. Tennessee comes into this game fresh off of their bye, and they are looking to build off of that. But you look at the Colts right now, and they've got that old cagey veteran at quarterback, and I'm talking about Joe Flacco. And we saw what Joe Flacco could do last year with the Cleveland Browns, and he's trying to pull off some of that magic once again with the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is a game right here that is ripe for the Colts to take. Questions about the Titans offense, even though they're coming off of their bye. I like Indianapolis in this game by the score of 23-17. Now, the Drake Maye era is officially here for the New England Patriots, as a third overall pick of this past spring's NFL draft is set to make his debut at starting quarterback for New England when they host the Houston Texans. Now, you look at this game, Drake Maye gives the Patriots offensively a little bit more mobility than what they had with the veteran in Jacoby Brissett. But nonetheless, this is a tough way to get indoctrinated into the NFL if you're Drake Maye facing this D'Amico Ryans led defense for the Houston Texans. If that's not enough for the Patriots to deal with, they also have to deal with CJ Stroud and this high flying Houston Texans offense. The Texans go to Foxborough favored by 6.5 points for Sunday. I like them on the over on that, as I'm going to take Houston by the score of 27 to 13. Now in the Superdome, you're going to have the 2-3 New Orleans Saints hosting the 3-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa comes into this contest favored by 3.5 points. Big reason for that: no Derek Carr at quarterback for New Orleans, as the Saints are going to be going with rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler. You look at this Bucks team, and they just continue to fly under the radar, but they simply go out there and find a way to take care of their business. They lost a heartbreaker last Sunday against the Falcons, but I think Atlanta's going to, pardon me, Tampa rather, is going to be right there in the mix with Atlanta and possibly with New Orleans to win this division, which makes this game so big for both sides. I like the Bucks in this one by 10, 27-17. Now in Philadelphia, if you got a 2-2 Eagles squad coming off of their bye and they're hosting the 1-4 Browns. Philadelphia comes into this contest favored by 9.5 points. You look at the Browns, not a lot of good things going on for this team, especially at the quarterback position. Philadelphia has issues of their own, but the fact that they're home, they're coming off of their bye, and they're facing a Browns team, I really like Philadelphia in this one by the score of 34-17. Now, a big one on Sunday, an interconference matchup that a lot of people are talking about. You got the 4-1 Washington Commanders clashing with the 3-2 Baltimore Ravens. You think about Lamar Jackson, okay, with his ability at quarterback as a dual threat. And of course, rookie Jayden Daniels, a starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders, and how, he has people talking about the Commanders for the first time in a long time, and also how he has people within his organization and people who follow the Commanders believing in this team for the first time in a long time. I think this game is going to come down to a couple of things. It's going to come down to the defenses. For the Baltimore Ravens, I don't expect them to go out there and stop Jayden Daniels, but I expect them to try to contain him. And it's not going to be easy, especially with the matchup nightmare that Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin is. On the flip side, for the Commanders defensively, it's not just about Lamar Jackson, because guess what? If you get that big back and Derrick Henry going, you are in for a long afternoon, because Derrick Henry really gives the Ravens offense something that they really have not had since Lamar Jackson has been there, at least. The Ravens are favored by 6.5 at home. Like I said, this has the makings of being one of the better games of the week. Baltimore, after that slow start, has won their last three. I think they make it four in a row. And I'm going to take the Ravens in this one by the score of 27-23. Now, at Mile High, you're going to have the 3-2 Broncos hosting the 2-2 Chargers. The Chargers come into this contest favored by 3 points, and they're also coming in fresh off of their bye. You look at the Broncos, and as the weeks go by, rookie quarterback Bo Nix is getting more and more confidence offensively. And I think his head coach, Sean Payton, is getting more and more confidence in him as well. However, I think that this contest is going to be predicated by the defenses. The Chargers want to do some paint swapping, and the same thing can be said about the Denver Broncos. The over-under is only 35.5 on this one, but I like the Chargers by the score of 20-17. Now in Vegas, you got the 2-3 Raiders hosting the 3-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Pittsburgh, after that fast start, they have now dropped their last two games, and they have to get back to doing what they do best, playing solid physical defense. And then on top of that, they need more cohesion on offense, which is something that they have not done so far this season. I think Pittsburgh really needs to establish their running attack in this one. On the flip side, for the Raiders, they've benched veteran quarterback Gardner Minshew, and in his place will be Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. You look at the Steelers, I expect TJ Watt and company to try to come and pin their ears back and put the pressure on Aiden O'Connell in this one. The Raiders are home, but I expect plenty of terrible towels in the seats at Allegiant Stadium for this one. Pittsburgh's favored by 3. I'm going to take them by 5 in this one, 24-19. Now, another big one that a lot of people are talking about is a battle of two perennial playoff teams, and the Detroit Lions traveling to Arlington to take on the 3-2 Dallas Cowboys. The Lions head to Texas fresh off of their bye. They are a 3.5 point favorite in this game. And you look at the quarterback play. You got Jared Goff for the Lions, and of course you got Dak Prescott for Dallas. With two high flying offenses like this, I think it's going to be on the defenses. Which defense makes the stops first, and which defense makes the key stops coming down the stretch? The over under on this contest is 52 and a half. I'm going to take the Lions by the score of 31-27. Now in Charlotte, you got the 1-4 Carolina Panthers hosting the 3-2 Atlanta Falcons, the 3-2 first place Atlanta Falcons in the NFC South. Now, the Falcons come into this contest favored by 6 points over the Panthers. However, this was a trap game last year for Atlanta as they fell on the road in the rain to the Panthers late in the season, and that really went on to cost them an opportunity to get to the postseason. Nonetheless, new head coach this time around, new quarterback, and I think Raheem Morris will have his Falcons ready to play after their big win last Sunday over Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Atlanta on the road by the score of 30-17. Now, on Sunday night at the Meadowlands, you've got the 1-4 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 2-3 New York Football Giants. And for Cincinnati, they just keep finding ways to lose games. They blew a 10-point lead last week in the second half against the Baltimore Ravens at home several times. Joe Burrow has been solid for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase has been good when he's been there, but the Bengals just simply keep finding ways to lose games. You look at the Giants, and the Giants are a team that they're 2-3, but they could easily be 4-1 with a break here or there. And of course, they have some people talking about them, at least through their fan base, after their big win last Sunday on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. The Giants are going to once again be shorthanded in this. No Malik Neighbors once again as he's out due to the concussion protocol. Kayvon Thibodeau had wrist surgery this week, and he's going to be week to week the next several weeks for Big Blue. The Giants do have some momentum. Defensively, they are playing better. Offensively as well. However, Daniel Jones does not have a good primetime record. The Bengals head to the Meadowlands favored by 4, and I'm going to take them by 4 in this one, 24-20. And finally, on Monday night, staying at the Meadowlands, a team that has a lot of controversy around them heading into this one, the New York Jets, with a record of 2-3, will host the 3-2 Buffalo Bills, and the winner will be all by their lonesome in first place in the AFC East. And of course, if you have not heard the news this week, of course, we know that the Jets decided to fire Robert Saleh, and now defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich is the interim head coach for the Jets. However, it all comes down to the play or lack thereof for the Jets of veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Will we see prime vintage Aaron Rodgers this week for the Jets? That is going to be important. But even with that said, New York has to do something that they did not do last week in their loss to the Vikings. They've got to go out there and run the football. You got Brees Hall and you got Braylon Allen. Now, for the Buffalo Bills, they started off by winning their first 3 games while they have lost their last 2 to some of the superpowers, if you will, in the AFC. First to Baltimore, and then last week on the road to the Houston Texans. If you're the Jets, you got to look at this and say, hey, let's run the football against Buffalo. And defensively, they've got to go out there and make life tough for Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Now, with all of that said, Buffalo heads to the Meadowlands favored by 2.5 points. But typically, when you get an interim head coach, the team will play hard, at least in their first game. I think the Jets do that on Monday night. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to take the Jets in this one by the score of 23-20. So, folks, those are my picks for week number 6 in this NFL season. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, Please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. And I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.